And we
And we
are
are
live.
live.
We're
You got
live. David Porter, what's going on, man?
not
Thanks for
much.
joining us, guys, in Texas and Louisiana. Thanks for Smart Money Culture TV with our main man, Fly Mackey. Fly Mackey in the house. David, how's it going out there in Dublin? I was a little worried about you this morning. I was like, oh man, did he get in trouble protesting out there?
Yeah, nobody gets in trouble out here. It's pretty difficult, and when you do get in trouble, they let you off without anything. So it's all good times out here.
Oh, really?
It's it's one of the most free nations there is in the world. Top freest nation, and it's really beautiful. It's a great economy and great people, and I've been having a great time.
That's pretty awesome to hear. The Irish are they're fun people, right?
They're very fun. They're happy-go-lucky. So you don't want to cross them. Everybody has their opposite. The Fighting Irish. They're known for. But yeah, it's great, and they're definitely up to speed. Most of them are holding crypto, invested, and in the know about what's going on.
Well, that's pretty awesome. One of our favorite fighters there, who we were with briefly, but we were with in Monaco, on our yacht there. He's there. Is he? I know. He was kind of raising heck, and then I think they told him, "Hey, buddy, you better calm down a little bit."
I mean, maybe they told him to calm down, but he's still being outspoken, convincing people, letting people know what's going on, and probably giving them the right angle to see the perspective of the bigger picture and help guide Ireland. He has good intentions. I think that he's a great leader, role model, maybe, depending on how you want to go, but he's a great leader.
He's a great leader. Hey, look, you could say the same thing about Trump, right?
Yeah.
He's a great leader. Now, role model, I don't know. I mean, you got Horseface, you got some of the other people running around there. I don't know.
Everybody has their moments.
Well, nobody is perfect. This is actually what I tell people. I'm in quite a few of these, different political groups. I mean, I've always been very kind of political, even when I try not to be. And I always tell people, guys, we have to support each other. Our side sometimes is very, we're very, you can't do this. You can't. Oh no, I'm not going to deal with them because they did this way back when, sometime freaking 10 years, 20 years ago. It's like, guys, no. Give a person a break.
But he is looking at the politics and elaborating on them, so he's keeping people up to speed. And they said only 5 to 10% of Ireland's even on Twitter, which I think he's using primarily. So it's still
really
just a small voice. Yeah, they don't want to be on Twitter like us Americans. We love Twitter.
Oh man, we love X. It's called X now, David. We love X. We love it. X. I mean, it's like my phone tells me how much time I spend on it every once in a while. It should stop doing that.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Like, am I gonna look back in 20 years and be like, I can't believe I'm spending so much time on my phone?
I hope not. I hope that it's gonna push this monetary revolution to where we're headed.
I'll tell you what, man. The monetary revolution is hot. It's hot right now. Even in the title of this, you can see, what did I say? First Trump and SCOTUS, I'm going to talk about in a minute. But he talked about Bitcoin is flying, gold is flying, the SHIB is flying. The SHIB, the main SHIB is flying. It's up 60%. Okay, and then the SHIB that we did the show on this morning, SHIB with hat.
Yeah,
it's up like 250%. I mean, they really took off from after we did the morning show. I'm going to claim total credit for it. If it wasn't for the show, it never happened.
Yeah, yes.
Well, I mean, a lot of people saw it, right? A lot of people saw it, and it's really easy to buy on Radium, RAYDUM.io, Radium, and you can buy it right there. You just get some Solana, and you can buy it right there. And Solana is very easy to get. And actually, the guys put it on a ton of different exchanges as well. I mean, I don't know. There was like 8 pages of exchanges when we did the review this morning.
Yeah,
really,
pretty baller.
They got, after our show, David, they had $160,000 buy.
Ooh, yeah. That's what you like to see.
That's like when we were pushing the RVP, we had a bunch of stuff going on like that. But look at this, 320%. Never mind 250. 320% up today. You can see right about here, we did 6:10 a.m. Boom, boom. This is the 160,000 buy right here.
Nice.
I'm sure.
The baby whale in the sea now.
Yeah, he probably doesn't like you calling him a baby whale.
Well, break out another zero there, buddy.
Break out another zero, David says. Well, you're right. I think they're flirting around with the 17 million market cap or something like that. This thing is moving. Here's the deal, guys. With these things, this is these things can really go. You see a 320% increase on something. I mean, that's the stuff. People do that their whole life on the stock exchange, right? So it's not something that you want to, you don't want to sell the house and put it all in, but it is something else. That's Shib with hat. Shib with hat. WIF hat. I'll put them back up again so you can see that. Shib with hat. This is the website. Actually, this is the market right here. Let me just pop right over here. Look at this. Look at this thing. Woo! Now, this is so exciting, right? But I mean, the truth of the matter is, Bitcoin is flying too. Here's the website. Shib with WIF. Shib with hat. Shib with coin. Shibwithcoin.com. And that's the nice. Shib with hat token. They have, I'll play this video one more time just because it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I love their mascot.
The ShibWith Hat coin. ShibWith Hat launched on Solana blockchain, and it's officially the Dog with Hat killer. Our mission is to become the #1 community coin in Web3. Don't miss your chance to be part of this next big thing in meme tokens. Invest in the ShibWith Hat token today and join the revolution.
Okay. Now on to serious stuff. But when you're 3xing, that's always very fun. That's very fun to do. So, but a lot of stuff going on there, and that's really cool. Bitcoin, like I said, Bitcoin is absolutely flying as well. Let me pull up the Bitcoin chart here. And then I want to talk a little bit more about Trump. Trump, the man everyone loves to hate. I'll tell you what about Trump. And the main reason I think that they're going to let him win, and when I say let him win, because with all of the absentee or mail-ins and everything else, I feel like it really is just kind of that type of a deal. But how in the world, this is Bitcoin, what are they going to do if he doesn't win? What are the news stations going to talk about? I mean, I can tell you, if you want your stuff to get looked at, you talk about Trump. I mean, we're in media. You talk about Bitcoin. You talk about Trump. You talk about, I mean, this guy has I don't want to say a cult following because I don't want to get people mad at me, but I don't know what else you call it. He got a lot of people following. He's a huge. I shouldn't say huge. I told David not to say that the other day. He has a massive following, and you can see here pumping for our show, David. There they are, 56.41, pumping so hard it just started beeping at me.
Is that you?
Yes. Freaking out. Look at this day. Look at this. Go right over here to CoinMarketCap. I must have had some thing on there. It's supposed to go off. Maybe during the last bull run.
Wow.
I said it. And it didn't hit it until now.
Crazy.
Look at this Bitcoin. The mighty Bitcoin, $66,627. I remember paying, guys, in Bitcoins that I had bought for $100. When Bitcoin was like, it had gone up to like 600 or more. Maybe it went up to 1,200 or something, and it was back down. I don't know. Anyway, I remember just paying developers, and they're like, "Well, all right, I'm going to take it," because at the time it was like $300 or $200 or something, and them saying, "Well, in my mind, it's still $600. That's the only reason I'm going to accept these Bitcoins for this work, because in my mind it's $600." And look at that, guys. And what that means is a number of things, but what that means is that your dollar is crashing. Your dollar.
Yeah, it hurts to hold on to your dollars when you see the markets flying. You're like, oh, why did I hold the dollars? To be careful? Oh man.
Careful. Who wants to be careful in a bear market? I mean, in a bull market. I remember telling people, "What do I buy? What do I do? What do I do in the last bull market?" I said, "In the bull market, you buy."
Yeah.
And you don't leverage too high. You don't leverage it too much, so that you get liquidated when it fluctuates. But look at that, guys. So, well, I am predicting we're going to hit the all-time high today.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's an easy push.
Easy push. The reality is that there is a major supply squeeze. Yes. Nobody wants to sell their Bitcoins.
Yep.
And do you blame them?
No.
I can tell you that the alt rally that is starting now, you can see with SHIB and some of the other ones, but the alt rally that is going to follow this and is already happening will be amazing, right? I mean, if Bitcoin goes 300 and something % right now, we're at, nearly 200,000. We're at almost exactly $200,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But these alts are going to go 3x.
Like you said, it's already started. The alts are green across the board. Even with the extreme greed index, it's not scaring anybody. And all these companies, all these altcoins now likely have more liquidity because of the Bitcoin pumps. And of course, you'll see that reflection in their companies. And you do see it already if you scroll across the charts.
Oh, man. I'm just putting out a post. The alt season that will follow and is happening now will make more millionaires than what?
Last year.
We'll make more millionaires than Doggy Coin.
Yes, that's feasible.
We'll make more millionaires than Bitcoin, I'll say. It is true.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about it is that the money flowing into the space is absolutely, it's crazy. I mean, we see it, right? Like, I mean, we're firsthand, right? We're talking about it every day. Go ahead.
The volume on USDT is really high right now.
The volume on USDT very high. Now, USDT, of course, is the leading stable coin from the beginning. Our good friend Brock had a big hand in that. Brock the man. Yeah, something else. So I got off a call. I was on the call with orange.com, the big telephone conglomerate cell phone.
Uh-huh.
And they may join us on the show if I don't scare them off with all my crypto stuff. But no, the truth is that they are doing a lot with, they're really making a move into NFTs, XR technology, metaverse, and all this stuff. So they're very interested in talking to me. We may have them on the show. 67. We're at 67. Are we going to hit the all-time high on the show today?
It looks like it. I'm telling you, it's very soon. It's within the next 2 hours.
I mean, it's definitely within the next I'm saying today, but even if we have a real big pullback at the end of the week, it's over, man. It's what is it? Well, it's Monday. That's easy. The FOMO is real.
Yeah.
FOMO, the fear of missing out. Yeah. Now, Bitcoin is Bitcoin, guys. Like that's great. It may be, I think, diversify. Okay. I don't think you want to be all Bitcoin at this point. I think you want to be in some Bitcoin, obviously, because it's Bitcoin. How can you not have some Bitcoin? But you also want to be playing some of these other ones that are out there, because this stuff is serious.
Yes.
Like 300%. Gold. Let's look at gold. Let's look at gold here just for a minute. I'll come back to this chart, but let's look at gold is trading at all-time highs. Futures. You get the price of gold from gold futures, by the way. 1726. Let me put this post out. Gold is flying. Not like Bitcoin, but it is flying though. What did I say? What did that number did I say? 1726 or something like that?
Anyway. Can't quote you on that.
1726. I'm going to say gold is flying. Now here's the deal with gold, guys. 1.3% on gold is high. That's a big move. It's trade. If I take this back and go max here, you can see we are at all-time highs. We're at all-time highs here. Okay. Now, what this means is that your U.S. dollars, crypto's flying, gold is flying, silver is flying. Let me get you over here to the silver. Silver is up quite a bit more. They've been holding the prices of this stuff down. Silver is up over 2.5%.
Nice.
Up 56% from the 5-year max. It's down a little bit.
And we have the best place to get gold and silver. It's getting ready to launch at costmetals.club. You'll find the best places.
Go to @costmetals.club. I think for some reason, if you go directly to @costmetals.club, did that pull up for you? I have to hit the link. I don't know why that is. But really? if you go to @costmetals.com and use referral link clubs with an S, sign up. Crypto is not for everybody. I get it. I mean, it took me a while to get it. I don't totally understand. You should be buying crypto, but you also need gold and silver.
Well, you take your profits. Hopefully you make some profits.
And you put it in gold or silver. Gold and silver is going to hold its value. And actually, it's not just going to hold value, guys. This is going to pop. And I started to talk about it a little bit on the show this morning. But I I got a little thrown off, and we actually didn't have much time. But I think that we really got played. I think we really got played here. I think that we really, really, really got played again by the central bankers at 20. Let me just put this post out here. I think that we really, really, really got played by the central bankers. And we got played. Not only did we get played, but then we got played by the deep state because everyone blames Nixon. You even go to Grok. You go to Grok and you say, hey, Grok, when did the gold standard end? And it'll say, oh, well, Nixon did the gold standard. Nixon did that. But the truth is that Nixon probably, I think, now that I am like old enough to dig into this stuff, I think Nixon saved us all. Now, the interesting part is, do we have any gold left? I'm not sure whether we have any gold left, because here's the scam. This is how it happened. I just put out a post on my X account about it, just leading kind of people the way into it. But I'm gonna head over there just so I can follow it along. But everyone blames Nixon for ending the gold standard, but the fact is that it was illegal for U.S. citizens to own gold from 1934 to 1970. So this mythical, it was a mythical gold standard because only foreigners were able to trade U.S. dollars in for gold. And so we decided what they told us was that we're not going to keep the price of the dollar or something. We're going to keep the price of gold. And this is actually how it was sold. I've been digging into this. We're going to keep the price of gold at a certain price. Okay. And so they kept the price of gold at $35 per troy ounce. They kept it there, but it was illegal for Americans to buy it. In 1933, they seized all the gold by executive order, and then they made it illegal to buy gold. So mythically, you had a gold standard, and the gold standard didn't start till 1900 anyway. But anyway, that only lasted, right? And you could trade it in. So you couldn't trade it in. The only people that could trade U.S. dollars in at $35 a troy ounce, and you see what it's at right now. It's at it's at $21,something per ounce. Were foreigners and foreign countries. So I kind of got keyed into this a couple weeks ago because I thought, why in the world, like, if everybody hates Nixon so much, he must have been a good guy. And I really just started digging into what actually happened. And I'm in a couple of groups with Roger Stone. I'm going to chase him down. I'm going to make him come on the air with me somehow or the other. Us. Because he knows more than anybody. But what Nixon did by taking us off the gold standard, BTC Gold, ETH, sold. Yeah, this is the way. This is the way. What Nixon did by taking us off the gold standard was stopped us from selling our gold at a massive discount to foreigners, to foreign countries. I'm not even sure if we have any gold left. I actually think that we might not have a lot of gold left.
And who do you think has the most gold? Or bought the most gold from us?
Who do you think? I think Russia bought a whole bunch. China bought a bunch.
Yeah, they were buying a bunch last year.
And the price of gold is still artificially kept lower, and silver. And now it's being kept lower by paper derivatives. And what they're doing is they're trading paper derivatives, shorting the market, keeping the price lower while they can buy as much as they can. But this scam has been going on for a long time. And the more I dig into this, it's really eye-opening. I think Nixon saved us. Or one, he saved us from selling all our gold, or two, we were out of gold. And he had no choice but to take us off the mythical gold standard, because it wasn't a gold standard for you. It was illegal for you to own it. It became legal for U.S. citizens to own $100 worth of gold, which at that set price was about 2.5 ounces. Okay. But still $5,000. Okay. So you could own at today's prices about $5,000 worth of gold in 1971. And then they repealed the Gold Reserve Act from 1934. They repealed that in 1974. And then Americans, after they had raped us, taken all of our gold, made us pay ridiculous, wouldn't let us have it, and instead gave it away at ridiculous prices, ridiculous discounted prices to all the other countries of the world. Then they let us buy back in.
Wow.
Right? This is the biggest scam of our time. I'm breaking it on the Porter Brothers show.
Yeah. That's
Nobody's
intense.
ever told me any of this.
Yeah. But it makes sense.
Of course it does. I aped into Grok. And Grok told me all the wrong things. But then we went back and forth with each other, and we were dating. I feel like Grok is a guy. ChatGPT is a girl. You know why?
Oh, that's why
ChatGPT thinks she knows everything. But still, if you go to Grok, I like tested it a few times. When did the gold standard end? The gold standard ended with Nixon, blah, blah. And I'm like, now, come on. We just went through this. The gold standard didn't really end with Nixon because nobody could trade in their dollars for gold. So the gold standard effectively ended for Americans in 1934. He said, oh, you're right. I'm like, will you use my information now for other people? If you have Grok, you need to go over there and ask it. When did the gold standard end? Keep them honest.
Yeah, it's very important.
It's very important that people know this stuff. Grok is pretty cool, I have to say. I asked it today. I said, please give me a post. It doesn't do this so well. About how Nixon may have actually saved the U.S. gold supply by stopping foreigners from trading U.S. dollars while U.S. citizens were prohibited from doing so. I'm making that into a post. 2730. Here we go. All right, here we go. Boom. Grok told me. Grok's my new boy. David, you're lucky you're good looking because I might just do the show with Grok.
That'd be pretty cool.
We are kind of doing it. So in the annals of American economic history, a few decisions have been as controversial as President Nixon's 1971 decision to close the gold window, effectively ending the convertibility of the U.S. dollar into gold. While this move was met with shock and criticism, it's worth considering whether the bold step actually saved the U.S. gold supply by preventing foreigners from trading U.S. dollars for gold while citizens were prohibited from doing so. Now, here's the interesting thing about AI. And this is why it's so important that we're on these platforms. Grok was not saying this yesterday and the day before. But me and Grok, we had a meeting. And we went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And now it's telling you the truth.
Nice.
And the truth, as our great friend, the late, great John McAfee told us, is going to set you free. I know the other quote says, will set you free. But that's not what John McAfee told us. He said it's going to set you free. Prior to 1971, the Bretton Woods system had pegged the U.S. dollar to gold at $35 per ounce. However, the U.S. economy faced challenges and inflation rose anyway. And this was when I started figuring out the scam. I was like, well, hold on. If it was pegged with gold, then how did inflation happen? And then nobody ever mentions to you, everybody thinks that during the gold standard, you were able to go into the bank and with your US dollars withdraw gold, but you weren't able to. But nobody ever told us that. By closing the gold window, Nixon effectively prevented foreign governments from further depleting the U.S. gold supply. Additionally, the prohibition on U.S. citizens from owning gold, which had been in place since 1933, further protected the U.S. gold supply. Oh, well, I mean, maybe, Grok. We'll have to have a talk about it. I mean, I suppose, yeah, sure, if we couldn't buy it, it's protected it. But I would argue to say that if U.S. citizens were buying it, that's still protecting it, because at least we're buying it. This ban was not lifted until 1974. Interesting stuff. I'll tell you what. History is something else. I talked about it this morning as well. They don't teach this stuff in schools because they don't want you to know it. They don't want you to know it.
Yep. Then you'll have an advantage, and they like to have the advantage over you.
Not only will you have the advantage, but you might just have a tea party. Right?
Yeah. I love tea.
I love tea. Actually, do I love tea? I love tea. But you might have a tea party. That's the deal. Putting out this on a post here too. The Declaration of Independence. Oops. Hold on. Here we go. 32. At 32, here we are. 32. The Declaration of Independence is not taught in schools anymore. Do you know why? Or let's just say, well, we'll say that differently. Why do you think that is? T? Anyone? The Declaration of Independence is not taught in schools, in U.S. schools anymore, because it tells you that you have a right and that you have a duty when the government is doing the wrong thing to fix it. We're supposed to fix it.
Exactly.
It's our right and it's our duty. It's our duty.
Yes.
I always push peacefully, guys, peacefully. Okay, but we do need to come to Washington. We need to peacefully protest. You know, these things we need to peacefully. One of the biggest ways that you can be part of the peaceful monetary revolution, the peaceful monetary revolution, is to get out of the U.S. dollar, to get into gold, to get into silver, to get into blockchains, to get into SHIB, to get into Global Boost, to get into Bitcoin, and take the power back from these people. We can take the power back from these people. 67,475. We're getting closer, David.
Right.
I think the all-time high is 69,420. No, I'm just kidding. I bet he's 69,600 or something like that. Let me just look. It told me right here. All-time high. The all-time high is 69,44. We're only 3%. We are 3% from the all-time high. That's pretty crazy, right? We are 3% from the all-time high. 67,475 Bitcoin. We are 3% from the all-time high. And we might hit it today. We might hit it on this show.
Yeah, that'll be very fast.
Do you remember when we were doing one of our shows, our Washington Elites, back in the day when you did conferences, it brought so many people together that you would actually sometimes move the price.
Yeah.
And a couple of times when we were doing our shows, we felt like we moved the price, whether that was just in our minds or not.
Bitcoin went into 10K during one of them.
It did.
I remember that. Yeah.
We did one, the bear market edition.
Yeah.
At like 3,000 or 3,500. I think that was when we hit the all-time low, I think. And then of course it rebounded, or it was right in there. We are 3% from the all-time high. And then I'm going to say the monetary revolution is real. All right, and I'm sending that bad boy out. I'll tell you what, guys. Your dollar is crashing. Your dollar is crashing. That is what's going on. Of course, yes, Bitcoin is pumping too. The reason Bitcoin is pumping is your dollar is crashing. Look at this. One of the reasons. One of the reasons. The other reason is, of course, it can't be seized. It can't be frozen. Can't be taken by court order. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Digibyte, Global Boost, these old proof of work blockchains are like that. But look at this. US dollar to euro. Let me just show you how we're crashing. Look at this. See this? The dollar is crashing. We're even crashing on the euro, and the euro is like a disaster.
Yeah, I feel it too. Sometimes when I break out the American card, I'm like, this sucks.
Right?
Yeah.
This is gonna hurt.
It's an extra 20%.
Yeah. Nobody wants the dollar. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I understand times of war and stuff. People want dollars, but I don't know, man. That's pretty rough. I'll add that again. And so this right here, what we're looking at right here is I think that's the 5. No, well, that's the 5-day. That's pretty ugly too. This was over the weekend. They didn't trade, which is funny too. Bitcoin never stops trading. It's very funny to me that these currencies stop trading. I don't know how long that's going to last. Like, oh, never mind. We're just going to not trade over the weekend and then crash it some more.
Right.
Yeah. Look at that monthly. Oh, yeah. That's your dollar.
Yeah.
Now, one of the reasons, and I've talked about it quite a bit, is we are on track. We are on track to quite possibly double spending. And I've talked about it a number of times.
You can't do that with crypto.
You can't do that with crypto. All right, and that means that your taxes must double as well. They'll actually even go up more than that, but that's a little harder to understand for everybody. So I'll just put it out like that. So I've talked about it a number of times on the show. Last year, we spent $6 trillion according to the U.S. Treasury, the Federal Reserve, which is a private organization, private entity, it's owned by a group of families. Maybe I'll post their names up again. I did not kill myself. But it's owned by a group of families, a private entity, and they print up whatever they want. Whatever they want, they print. And if they need to buy someone out, they print more. And if Congress doesn't do what they want to do, they buy them all out. It's like funny money. It's like monopoly money. It is monopoly money. It's paper money.
Yeah. There are no reserves.
There are no reserves. And as I was just saying, I think we're out of gold anyway. Have you heard of the U.S. buying a lot of gold? I haven't. When did we buy about gold back? So
we had just one conspiracy is if Trump ordered the Vatican to return a bunch of gold, but of course there's no real proof of that.
I'm sure the Vatican just jumped up and down and handed it over. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's craziness. I don't. But who knows, right? But I mean, I think Trump. I'm a Trump guy. I've always been a Trump guy. I don't agree with everything that Trump did. Not by a long shot, but let's talk about Trump a little bit. Let's talk about.
Well, there's also Trump. On the Declaration of Independence, there's also another conspiracy that he wrote a new Declaration of Independence for we the people. And maybe some of our viewers can dive into that for us.
Yeah, can some of you guys tell us what the deal is with that? Say that one more time.
Supposedly, with all the problems in 2020, Trump wrote a new Declaration of Independence for we the people, which there's a difference for the American citizen and we the people as far as your status is in the country.
Oh, David's going deep. So there is a lot of stuff. I mean, we were severely sold out many times over, really.
Well, exactly.
So it would be interesting, though, if people know anything about that. We would like to know. We might not have you on the show, but we would definitely want to talk to you about it. What are they talking about? Say some more about it, Dave. What happened?
Well, back when I was with Trump in the Oval Office.
Yep.
And now I won't elaborate on it too much, but there is a lot of people, part of these cult following people.
we got to find a better way to say it because they're not cult, they're not cult following. Anyway, these people, yes, that well, I mean, a lot of people, they've said the whole time that Trump was still the president.
Well, yeah, because they relinquished the corporation, the CEO of whatever it was at the time, CEO of the USA, and they reopened the White House Inc. And now Biden is the CEO of the White House Inc. And they never took Trump's name off of the old paperwork. So that's why they say he's still the president of the USA.
Because they changed the corporation. That's the deal. Kind of that's the deal.
It's slick banker shady business 101.
It is, right?
Just change the corporation.
You just changed the corporation. That's all.
Now we're operating.
Well, pretty interesting. Big win, though. I'll tell you what. Big win for Trump. It's ridiculous that we have the situation where these, this traffic court in Colorado, right? Colorado said she was going to keep him off the ballot. I think it was Colorado. I'll tell you this. Now that the precedent is set, there's no going back. It's like printing money out of control. I'll tell you what, David, there's no going back. Every year that we have a presidential election, assuming that we have a presidential election again, they're going to do this same stuff. They're going to try to take people off the ballot. And it is going to be even more expensive to run for office because you're going to have to fight for all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unbelievable that they even try, and then you have to know that they're going to get denied by the courts, but they push it anyways. They waste money, time, energy, all out of hate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's really unbelievable. Maybe we could showcase a little bit there at the end. But you know, what's crazy is that we are getting into a point where, you know, we have one side that's not at all accepting of the other side. And then you have one side that wants to follow or the rule of law and goes to court and does all these things. And you have the other side that is like, whatever. Oh, the Supreme Court said that. I talked about the scam with Joe Biden and these college loans last week. It's a big scam. And he's not listening to the Supreme Court. But big win either way for Trump. I think that sets a precedent now. I feel like these other states, I hope that they now are, you know, set and they know that they can't take him off the ballot. I think this is the second time that it went to the Supreme Court. Seems absolutely ridiculous that a traffic court judge can say they're going to take Trump off the ballot because they got a hurt butt or something.
Yeah, that's it's a low end judge, you know, and I don't think he should have that power either.
And they got to go to the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court doesn't have anything better to do with their time.
There's no debate.
I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And I mean, while we're talking about the Supreme Court, I mean, it's something that I say all the time, and they did come through for us. It did come through for us right now. But I mean, do you guys really think that the Supreme Court is going to save us?
This is a pretty good way to put it, because a lot of us do think, you know, the Supreme Court is going to save us or make these right decisions. But actually, yeah, it's a real question. Like you said, nobody's representing you in DC.
There's nobody representing you. And these guys have endless amounts of cash. They have endless, like literally endless amount of cash. They can print up whatever they want. While you go to work and you're a wage slave, they just print up whatever money they want. It's a big scam. It's a big scam. And I think that relying on the Supreme Court is risky business.
Yeah, it sounds like a bit of a mistake. And like I say, you don't really realize it until you put it like that. Right? Yeah.
I mean, you have all of these people. They're old. You got a woman there. Oh, okay, 66,913. 66,913. We were above 67, but I mean, we were just flirting with it. We were just flirting back and forth. Do you have a video on me, or am I black?
Oh, yeah, you look frozen.
This is a disaster.
Pull yourself on and off.
Okay, I'll pull myself on and off. Still frozen. Hold on. Here we go. I got this.
Yeah, he'll be right back. And he's been doing a great job for us. I know in Texas and Louisiana has been informed, live action, daily charts, and worldwide events brought to you live by Bruce Porter Jr. What's up, bro? You're
What's
back.
going on, man? They're the gremlins. The gremlins are in there. They don't want. They like get this guy Bruce off the air. Get this guy off TV.
Yes.
Hats off to Smart Money Culture TV for giving us such a network to be on. Every day we come on here, our signal is reaching 7 million people, and that is growing rapidly. It's reaching 7 million people. Of those 7 million, 30% are watching their TVs. They watch local television. 2.3 million people we're reaching a day. On any given day, we have about 200,000 people tune in.
Yes, it's pretty good. We are growing.
And we are growing a lot. Make sure to check them out, thesmc.tv. If you want to get involved, drop us a note there and pull out your checkbook.
And stay tuned. There's so much to learn from the network. We go over all types of different businesses, concepts, and the latest and early stage technology startups. You can tune into us for that. And we're really having a great time.
The latest and the greatest. Speaking of latest and greatest, let me look at our SHIB. Let me look at our SHIB here. Oh, they're going even higher.
Yeah, they mean business, huh? I mean, they have it going on. They hit all the angles for your crypto markets. They timed it perfectly with the bull market. I mean, I think that these guys are pretty slick, and I got pretty good faith in them.
Well, it's one of those things you're always like kind of like, okay, who we're gonna bring on. You always want to be careful about these things, right? But let me just pop this on. Here we go. So here they are, SHIB. You can see them just pumping here. This has been since the announcement of the show, of course. No, I mean we reached a lot of people today. There's no doubt about it. But look at that, up over 200%. It's reaching right now. $160,000 buy in one push.
Going for the mythical moon.
For the mythical moon, which I know to Bitcoin and stuff like that. That's that's small change, but we're talking about 15. It was 10 million. It was a $3 million market cap when they wrote the press release. It was 10 million by the time we did the show this morning. It was about 17 million now. SHIB with hat on a tear, up over 200%, reaching for the sky. It's fun, these coins can really be fun. Again, look, guys, we're not financial advisors, okay? But these things can really be fun. SHIB with hat. I'll make that a hashtag. Boom, reaching for the sky. And that's crypto. And that's what it's all about, guys, because we have been enslaved by the central banking system. They've diluted your money. They print money out of thin air all over the place. They print the money. They dilute your holdings. The monetary revolution is the way we fight back peacefully. We peacefully fight back. Take your U.S. dollars. Don't let them dilute your U.S. dollars. If you don't have a bunch of U.S. dollars, hard to dilute you, isn't it? Put them into different places like crypto, gold. Look at that. Rising even as we're talking. People are buying. They're FOMOing in right now. Let's look at Bitcoin here as we close the show. Bitcoin, 66,960. Solana, 128. The almighty Bitcoin. Extreme greed right now. 66,951.
Yep, you have to be patient against that greed chart. Great work today, Bruce. I mean, that was a fantastic show, and I really got a lot out of this.
That was a great show, David. It was always a pleasure, my brother. We will be back on your TV sets. Oh, I'm talking to Paris Blockchain Week as well, bro.
Nice.
Let's
go clean up Paris.
I think I'm taking the family anyway, so I'll tell the wife that we have to do it. I can't go and not.
Well, business is pleasure. Nobody knows that better than us.
The business of our business is business. Okay.
That's right,
bro.
Stay tuned.
See you guys tomorrow on your TV at 5 a.m. in Texas, 11 a.m. as well, Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. and 12 noon. We'll be streaming on all our normal places. Talk soon.
Cheers.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.